change doesn't happen if you don't express yourself, talk freely. There's never been a violent confrontation since I've been here at the University of Mizzou regarding race. And so I feel like as a team, as a unit, as a whole, as Missouri Tigers, I feel like this brought us close together as more of a family. We're still seeking to understand each other. Everybody has their differences, regardless of race. Everybody's a little bit different, thinks a little bit differently. And so just having open conversations, not judging what the other person has to say or their point of view, just seeking to understand both sides, kind of help us grow together. And like I said, since I've been here, I know in the past, Missouri has not always been a great place for people with minorities. But since I've been here, it's been open arms, welcoming. Everybody's trying to improve upon what's already been done here. And so as a collective unit, I feel like we're coming more together. This brought us more together as a team.
All right, Colin, you should be unmuted.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Not bad, thanks. I was just curious. It's been such a crazy time. Just what questions or concerns you had about COVID and returning, and how you feel like you got those questions answered before voluntary workouts start next week?
Coach Drinkwitz, since day one, since before we even went home prior to the meeting, he talked about it. Been very honest about it. His opinions on it. Our safety, as you heard right before I got on the call, is very detailed and thought out of the plans of what we're going to do if someone were to get it or somebody in our facility were to get it. And so I personally feel safe coming back. I feel like it's the safest place for me to be able to work out still ready for the fall, but also in a safe environment where we're not necessarily worried about getting sick. We got daily things. We got checkups and we got our temperature and symptoms and stuff like that. So I feel like we're in good hands. They're very safe, very precautious on everything they're doing. And as a whole, I think our whole team is bought into what we got going on.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Okay, we got Peter. You're up next. Go ahead.
Sounds good. Hey, Nick, I was wondering, have there been any conversations that you've had in the past week or so about race or things going on with either any of your teammates or any of your coaches in particular that really resonated with you?
As a position group, we talked about it, our opinions on what happened with George Floyd and other African Americans throughout these last 2-3 weeks. As a position group, we talked about it. As a team, we talked about it. But to answer your question, I'm talking on an interview right now. I'm talking a little bit. You can repeat your question one more time.
I was just saying, have there been any conversations that have really impacted you or stood out in your mind?
Just Coach Drinkwitz just talked about it. We had our Coach Looper, Coach Cheese, Coach DJ, Coach Walt. They all talked in the team meeting as well, just trying to find the best way to act out non-violent wise. Just having those conversations of knowing that police they did are incorrect. But as a race, as a whole, what we can do to go forward, we can change the way the world works around us. If we just do stuff the right way, peaceful protest, violence never the answer, type of deal. And so that's just how our mindset's been as our linebacker-wise. We talked in our meeting about that as well as a team.
Who's Coach Cheese?
Coach Cheese, he's a safeties coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harbison. Charlie Harbison.
Harbison.
Nickname
Okay.
is Cheese.
Gotcha.
Matt Michaels, you're up.
Hi, Nick. Thanks for being here with us today. I wonder, in some of those conversations that you've had with your teammates in the aftermath of what's going on in the country and during it, if there's anything about those conversations that maybe stood out to you and surprised you a bit, whether it was for the better or whether it was for something that people might need to work on.
I feel like the most surprising part was everybody's buy-in to understanding the fact that what happened was incorrect and the way that we're going to go back and fix it or try to attempt to make the world better. I didn't really 100% expect everybody to be 100% bought in, but Martez had the idea of the march going from the Columns to downtown. And quickly after that, everybody else bought into it. We had 60-plus guys. Nearly everybody that's back in town attend the walk from the Columns to downtown. And so that was the most surprising part to me, that everybody brought in. Nobody questioned it. Nobody had anything negative to say about it necessarily. So I feel like that was a great step for our team as this university to move forward and try to make the world a better place.
Was it Martez's idea to have the march and have the voting registration at the end, or is that something that kind of happened later?
No, Martez orchestrated everything. The coaches supported us. Players supported him as well. And so we all came up with the idea just from marching the columns down to downtown. But Martez is the one who started it. Coaches just supported it and along with the players. And we backed them up and gone ahead and got it done.
Okay, we got time for a couple more for Nick before I need to let him go. Mitchell, I think I got you up next. Go ahead.
And Nick, I know it was just mentioned that registering to vote was part of the march yesterday. I'm curious, just kind of what the reaction has been among some of your teammates about what that meant and why that was important to you all to register to vote, and if you were someone who actually registered to vote for the first time yesterday.
So I registered to vote. I already had a register to vote, but I went ahead and did it just in case. But it meant a lot for our players and our team, just because most people don't know the process to go about how to vote or how to register to vote. We have some guys that are 20 plus years old that never registered to vote. And so I feel like in order to make change and to use your voice in the positive way, the number one step is just to get into the voting booths and try to change the people who are leaders above us in the voting booth. So I feel like as an African-American community, just taking the time out to register to vote, learn how to vote, learn how the process works was vital to us going forward. And so me registering to vote was a big step for me. My teammates were all excited to vote as well. And so we're just trying to take steps forward and making the change.
Okay, we got one more for Nick. Andy, I got you unmuted. Go ahead.
Hi, Nick. I'm just going to kind of circle back to COVID. I know that a lot of that when players have been returning, there's been kind of an uptick in like positive tests for players. I just wanted to ask if like one of your teammates tested positive, kind of how confident would you feel continuing to have workouts or practices?
I'll still be confident. You can get sick from coming to the facility or being out in the community. It doesn't really affect how we go about our business. If he gets sick, of course, I want to make sure that he's going to be cared for safely. Just in case if I were to get sick, I would expect the same thing. And so I want to make sure his family understands what's going on and everything, just being there with my brother when he needs me. But if I were to get sick with the flu and the flu were to spread throughout the facility, you know what I'm saying, you have to clock it down for a certain amount of time and go about your business that way. But one person getting sick, I don't think it's necessarily going to affect the whole building. Of course, we have precautions of just trying to stay in the house, trying to keep the team first, kind of mindset going forward to try to prevent that. And so I think that's going to help us. I don't really see people going out of town coming back in, bringing COVID back and forth to University of Missouri. So I feel like we should be pretty safe here.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Nick, I know you got that 1:45, so we'll go ahead and let you go there. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us, and hopefully we'll all get to see you soon.
Yes, sir. Hope to see y'all in person as well.
All right, thanks, bud.
No problem.
So everybody else, hang on if you want. I think I see Chris might have joined us here, so let me pull him up. Let's see. Chris, can you hear me? This is Chad.
Yes, sir, I can.
Chris, thanks for joining us, bud. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank y'all.
You guys are making me look good. You're jumping in exactly when I said you would, so thank you. Hey, so we got a bunch of guys online here. Just wanted to talk to you about a few different things. So go ahead and ask people to throw their hands up and ask questions of Chris Turner. Gabe, you're in first, so you should be unmuted. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chris, I just wanted to know, kind of leading up to yesterday, over 3 years, what your conversations about race with your teammates have been, and then, just considering everything over the last couple weeks, what kind of voice you guys feel like you have in, possibly changing the way things are done or the way things happen in the country?
Well, I'll start with the question about the voice. We have a platform, and it's our choice and our decision to if we use it or not. And I feel like a lot of people listen to what we say. And so yeah, and just the conversations that we've had. Most of my team is they're Black guys, and we've all seen crazy stuff, man. We've all been affected by it, and we all want to see a change. And we're all willing to do whatever we can to make a positive change in our communities, even from back home to being here in Columbia. So.
All right, next up, Colin. Should be
Chris.
unmuted. Go ahead.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not bad, thanks. I just wanted to ask Nick. Nick told us that it was Martez's idea to organize the march, and I was just curious what about the team's makeup allows a young guy like that to step forward and have that kind of voice, and what is it about Martez that allows that to happen?
One thing about our team, one thing the coaches always say, the strength coaches, you don't have to be a senior to be a leader on the team. You don't have to be an older guy. You can lead in any way that you can, any way you want to, and even from the freshmen up on, you can always make an effect on the team. And Martez, I'm extremely proud of him for making the stand, trying to have a voice and do something in his own community because Martez is from Columbia, and I'm proud of him for wanting to make a change here and starting here and bringing the team together. I feel like that event like really made like a statement for us as a team. It brought everybody together, made us a way tighter unit. It showed that the guys have respect for each other and are willing to do something to make a change here. So.
How did you hear about the idea and when? Was it like in a team group chat or something?
Well, I heard about it a few hours before we actually did it. I got a call from one of my teammates, and then I got a call later from a coach just about how Martez had set it up and how he had talked to them about it and getting everything set up. And then, so yeah, we're all 100% behind it. So.
All right, next we got Harold. You should be unmuted. Go ahead.
All right, Chris, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, my question to you is, obviously, have you ever thought to yourself, with everything that's going on, why now? Why now is it that it took these 3 senseless murders for really everybody to really kind of climb on board? I mean, obviously you had Kaepernick taking a knee 4 years ago, and there is, some notification there, but now you ever wondered yourself, why now? As a member, younger generation, how do you guys feel you can push this forward, whereas the next generations, even after you, can kind of realize that, racism is something to totally be ignored, or not ignored, something to be eliminated?
I have thought to myself, why now? And what took so long for the people to finally say, hey, like, this is wrong. This shouldn't be happening. And I don't know why it took so long, or what made it finally be now after everything that has happened. After a lot of these murders have been going on for years, and even in my home state, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a few years ago there was one there, and I saw it. Everybody else around the country saw it, and I'm not sure what took so long, but I'm happy that it is now. And I'm happy that that efforts are being made for a change, because there needs to be a change. There needs to be something done to where, like, people who are committing these murders have to be held accountable, because at the end of the day it's wrong. And there's always a right and wrong, and until everybody's choosing the right side, then there's changes need to be made.
Mitchell, I got you next. Go ahead.
Chris, obviously the march yesterday was a pretty significant form of activism from the team. I was curious what you all, if anything, have planned to try to continue to make your voices heard moving forward.
As of now, there isn't anything planned, but even like just this now, guys can use their voice. Like I said, we have a platform, we have a voice, and I talked to Dr. Brown about it yesterday, what I can do and what changes I can make in my community, and he told me to start my voice. So I'm hoping more guys step up, more guys use their voice and their platform to push this change. So.
And that's Dr. Brian Brown, for those of you unaware. He's on our staff with our Mizzou Made team, Associate Athletic Director. Let's see. Matt, go ahead.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for taking some time with us today. It's good to see you. I wonder if in the conversations you had with some of your teammates surrounding, the activities that are going on across the country, fighting injustice, fighting racism, if you had any surprising moments in those conversations, anything that rubbed off on you, whether it was something that you didn't expect to the positive side or something that maybe needed some work between you and your teammates.
Most of the conversations have been extremely positive. I haven't heard any negativity at all from any guys. If anything, it's brought us closer together. Conversation with black and white teammates. Like they all believe that what's going on is wrong, and everybody's open to making a change in their lives, their words, some things they're doing and saying, and so yeah, nothing really too surprising. It's just brought us closer together, man. Honestly, so.
Colin, I got you next. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris. Nick told us that with the plans and the questions he had answered from the coaching staff and stuff, he felt safe coming back to campus. And I was just curious. Yesterday, we heard that all the players now are going to be tested. It's not just people who are showing symptoms. And I was curious if that affected how you felt about this, or made you feel more safe, or if it changed your opinion at all.
What exactly do you mean? As far as like COVID-19?
Yeah. The process for testing players coming back was going to be only players with symptoms, and is now everyone is going to be tested.
Well, honestly, feel safe. I have complete confidence in our training staff and our medical staff that they're gonna have everything prepared and good for us to come back on Monday. And even today, we started screenings and stuff, and just to like make sure that we know the process of safely coming in and out of the building and doing everything we can to keep everybody safe and making sure if anything does happen that we're separated or it's handled the right way. So.
All right. I see one more question for Chris. So, Kaufman, I got you ready to go. Go ahead.
All right, Chris. Thanks for doing this. I'm curious to just getting the chance. Were you one of the student athletes that chose to register to vote, or were you already registered yesterday? First off,
I was already registered. So,
what was it like, I guess, to see some of your teammates and fellow student athletes get the chance to register to vote, and just seeing them, take an action?
It was powerful, man. I was proud of them. I was proud of the people around us for giving us opportunity to do this. Because at the end of the day, like that's where the change like really happens. It's in politics, so